I'm going to ask you something, and you have to be honest with me. You really do. Because if not, this is not going to work. Are you team fake it till you make it? And if you are, there's nothing wrong with that. Because I'm going to introduce to us today lie to yourself until you make it. Right. And we have so many terms for this. We call it delusion. We say we're delulu, whatever. Right. And I just want to offer if you want to get anything in life, you need to lie to yourself that you're already there and like really and truly be in that delusional phase until you get there. Because your brain needs to think like I'm there. I need to act like it. I need to move like it. I need to, what is that mindset? How do these people act? So it is, I don't want to get too much into, mental health, but you do need to put yourself in that mindset. And obviously it's everything in life is such a fine, thin line, right? Because you need to high key believe this, but then at the same time, be able to hop into reality and say, like, okay, but this is where I'm at. It's a wild ride. But it's important to write down your desires, even when you have no proof. Even if all it is a sentence on a piece of paper, a picture on a board, a saved reel, YouTube, whatever. But once you have that vision and you write it down and you attach faith to it, you're good to go. And that's what I want to talk about today. Because faith isn't magic dust, neither is luck, but it is evidence that you can create before the world sees results, right? So Napoleon Hill in Think and Grow Rich says, faith is the visualization of what is it? The visualization of and belief in the attainment of desire, right? And if you watch yesterday's video, we talk about desire. So in plain English, pretty much he's saying faith is believing so deeply that your brain starts making it true. Because you're already acting, walking, talking, doing all the stuff that your brain starts to think, oh, we are that girl. Let's just do it. We wake up in the morning, we make boss moves. So, a quick recap of the last video, right? We wrote down our desires. And maybe since you're following this page, you wrote something like, I want a six-figure role that I get to work anywhere. I get to use my specific knowledge, and I feel alive again. Like I don't have Sunday scaries because I'm not in the worst culture ever, right? But writing it down is in the finish line because without faith, it's just ink on paper, right? I remember when I was applying for roles after my sabbatical, I had all the qualifications, I had all the things, but my energy said, I'm hoping they'll see my worth. Maybe they'll see my worth. And when I was in that mindset, I wasn't getting callbacks. When I flipped it and I had faith in myself, my ability, my talent, everything else, then it became, I already know my worth, right? I have it on a piece of paper. I recite it to myself every day. I have receipts. And I started telling myself, I am that girl like you. And like the beauty of having a brag book and things of that nature is that you write it down and you read it and you're like, yeah, I did. I know I did that. I remember when I did that. I remember the feelings. So now it's like your brain recognizes who you are. And it's easier to then have faith in whatever it is that you're believing from where you're going next, right? So that's really important. Faith is pretty much telling your subconscious, we're already there. We're not pretending. We're not doing anything like it's programming, it's who we are. We are her, period. Right? That is faith, right? Faith is researching, believing that you're going to get it. So you do the research. You research roles deeply. You understand what problems the company is paying you to solve. You know how your skills specifically translate into impact, how you can save money, drive revenue, innovate. And that clarity fuels more belief. And that belief shifts how you show up in interviews, in emails, in networking, everything, right? When I work with my clients and they finally believe what it is that they're going for, like for example, if you are going for a strategic role and you finally see that you're a strategic thinker, I love when they see those moments because it's such an unlock, right? When you have so much faith in yourself and what you're doing that you put in the work, your body language changes. And suddenly hiring managers don't need to be convinced anymore. You don't feel like you're battling in interviews anymore because you have faith in what you're bringing to the table and who you are. Yeah. So the hiring managers, the recruiters, they end up catching up to your conviction. And that's what I love. I love seeing that transformation when I work with my clients, right? Because when you operate in faith, people feel it and you start exuding certainty. Like it's just like, I'm I'm here, you know? And that energy says, of course we need to hire her. She's already operating like she belongs in this room. Because here's the thing about the interview process. And if you are in like the middle of your career, you know this by now. You've walked into rooms and you've thought like, oh my God, everyone is a genius, yada, yada, yada. And people are asking the most basic questions and people just trying to figure things out. So if you come in the room and you say, hey, you don't have to worry about this little piece of it, I got it. If you walk in the room with that energy, you will get the job because someone wants that peace of mind. And if you offer them that peace of mind, the job is yours. 10, 10, all the time, right? But when you're doubting, like imagine it like think about your own life. The people who when they say they're going to do something they don't do it or they don't really have expertise, like you can't let that go. So now with everything else you have to do, you're still thinking about that as well cuz you have to step up and do it yourself, right? So that doubting energy, it repels opportunity, it repels your check, it repels your offer, it repels that six figure, it repels remote, it repels location freedom. We don't want that, right? So Napoleon Hill says that faith is the external elixir that gives life power and action to the impulse of thought. Right. So you can have all this thought but you have to have faith to move it forward, right? So faith is a thing that makes your idea contagious, if you will, right? It makes an epidemic, a pandemic, actually. So I want you to write your desire down daily. So it keeps it fresh in your subconscious. It pushes down in your brain. And if you are a person of faith in terms of religion, and it all comes from the same root, right? When you pray every day, you are having a daily affirmation of what you want and what you're willing to do, right? And you're also understanding that by me saying this, by me doing this, I will do my part to get where I want to go. And part of doing your part is again the daily affirmations, the daily reminders to yourself of what you want, writing that down, saying it out loud. Also visualizing what success looks like. Your morning routine, your workspace, your first team meeting, all of it. And you need to speak as if it's already real. When I start my new role, not if I get. This is where my favorite part of supporting clients who are transitioning to new role is the interview process. Because in the interview process, you get to be that person that you say you want to be. Really, you get to show up as that person. So that is the moment that you full speed, you put in all your desire, your faith, everything. This is the moment. I absolutely adore interviews. And I know a lot of people don't, but interview prep is my favorite. Right. And then last but not least, I talked about this a few videos ago. Surround yourself with evidence. And that main thing is yes, your friend group, yes, your family, but also excuse me, also mainly it's your social media. Who are you watching? Who are you listening to? Are you watching and listening to people who are saying this is the worst economy that I can't get a job? I've been applying for 500. If you were following anyone who's been applying for 200, 300, 400, 500 roles and they're not getting a job, please block them. And not because you don't have empathy for them or whatever the case might be, but that is not your story. And if you keep reading that, then you're going to believe that is the story and that is the narrative of the economy. Please go follow the people who are landing jobs, read what they did and figure that out, right? Follow people who've done it, right? Remind yourself of who you are. Right. So when you block your time for deep, when I'm looking for jobs, or even when I'm just focused on something, right now I am tired. I'm not gonna hold you. You can probably see it. I am tired, but I told myself every day, at least for October, I'm gonna post. And today's October 30th. I said I'm gonna post on YouTube. I'm gonna share knowledge. I'm gonna share an impact. So that's what I'm doing. Right. Why? Because I'm acting like someone who shows up for herself. I'm acting like someone who wants to create a future for herself with this medium. Right. And I cannot tell you that this video is gonna draw any new opportunities for me, But I will say that it's practice. I'm when I close this laptop today, I'm gonna know that I showed up for myself today. And anyone who watches this knows that as my client, I'm gonna show up for you. And client in terms of like me helping people one on one, but also my client in like the job that I do, the contracts that I sign, I will show because that's who I am, you know? So once you combine desire and faith and you stop begging for outcomes, you start building them, right? Because you embody that spirit because you know who you are and whose you are. So this week, today, don't just write your goals, build faith into them, like imbue faith, inject faith into them. I'm just going to take a moment to like wish that for you as well and know that you have it and you have everything in you. That desire and that faith will get you where you want to be. Speak them until your subconscious starts believing before your circumstances catch up, right? You may not have a job offer today, but you will keep telling yourself, you will keep envisioning, you will keep speaking a six-figure offer, a remote offer, a good culture over yourself, right? Because faith is the confidence that says it's already mine. I just need to walk toward it and it's waiting for me. What I am chasing is chasing me. We are running to each other. We are gonna have a scene. There's gonna be a scene where we end up in the flower fields and we're gonna just embrace each other because we're both running towards each other. It's gonna happen. That's how you move forward with your life. That's how you get hired. And that's how you grow and adapt it and live a life that you love. Okay. So if you watched this far, thank you so much. It's been a long day. Um, but I will be back here tomorrow. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, email me, drop it in the comments, whatever you need to do so we can get you where you need to be as well. Alrighty. Please write down your goals. Write down your desires. Make it a huge desire. Nothing is unavailable to you. And then have faith to make it happen. All right. See you tomorrow.